Hello and welcome. Today we're going to discuss a critical topic in the criminal justice system, the untimely disclosure evidence. It's a situation that can arise during criminal trials, and understanding what it means and why it matters is important for anyone involved in legal proceedings. In a criminal trial, both the prosecution and the defense are required to share evidence with each other before the trial begins. This helps ensure fairness. However, sometimes one side fails to meet these deadlines, and when that happens, it's known as an untimely disclosure of evidence. So what exactly does that mean? Let's break it down. An untimely disclosure occurs when one side, either the defense or the prosecution, fails to provide critical evidence to the other party by the legally required deadline. This delay can lead to claims of prejudice, which means one side might argue they were unfairly disadvantaged, especially if they can't respond to the evidence effectively because they didn't have enough time to prepare. Now, for a jury to consider whether the timing of this disclosure impacts their judgment, several factors need to come into play. First, there's the missed deadline. This means that one party simply failed to disclose evidence within the time frame set by the law. In California, for example, there are strict criminal discovery laws that outline these deadlines. Next is prejudice to the other side. Essentially, did the delay deny the other party a fair chance to investigate or respond? If the answer is yes, that could be a significant issue. Then we have limited consideration. Jurors are allowed to consider the delay when deciding how much weight or credibility to give the evidence. But they can't just disregard it completely because it was late. They need to focus on the evidence itself. Finally, it's important to note that if the defense team was responsible for the delay, jurors are specifically instructed not to assume the defendant is guilty because of this delay. It's a crucial distinction. But what does the law say about the use of late evidence? Well, the law is clear and ensures fairness in the process. A judge has the discretion to give the jury guidance on how to treat late evidence, but only if the delay has significantly harmed the other side's ability to prepare. In other words, the judge will make sure the delay is not causing unfair prejudice. Now, in cases with multiple defendants, it's important to note that jurors cannot apply one attorney's mistake to another defendant. Each case is judged on its own merit. What happens if the late disclosure causes real harm? The court has several options to address this. For instance, the judge might order the immediate disclosure of the evidence, postpone testimony, or even continue the trial. In more serious cases, the court could exclude certain witnesses or evidence altogether, or issue penalties for violations. And one last thing. The defendant is generally not blamed for a lawyer's mistake. Unless the court finds that the defendant was personally involved in hiding or suppressing the evidence, they aren't held accountable for the delay. So, how does all of this impact trial strategy? Well, the delay can influence a trial, but only within the boundaries set by the law. Jurors are reminded not to assume wrongdoing just because evidence is disclosed late, especially if the delay wasn't intentional or didn't cause significant harm to the other side's case. For attorneys, it's crucial to comply with deadlines for evidence disclosure. Failing to do so can lead to procedural setbacks, harm the credibility of the case, and even result in sanctions. For defendants, understanding how late evidence is handled can provide some reassurance, as the courts are structured to ensure fairness, even when legal missteps happen. In conclusion, untimely disclosure of evidence underscores the importance of fairness and transparency in the criminal justice system. While delayed evidence can be considered when evaluating its relevance or credibility, it cannot be used as proof of guilt. Judges and juries are expected to focus on the quality and purpose of the evidence itself, not when it was disclosed. By maintaining these standards, we help ensure that verdicts are based on facts, not procedural errors, and that both sides are held to the same standards of accountability. The law office of Daniel Horowitz specializes in criminal defense cases, including issues like untimely disclosure of evidence. If you're facing criminal charges and are concerned about the fairness of your trial, we can help ensure your rights are protected. We have experienced legal professionals on staff who are committed to handling every aspect of your case with care and attention to detail. Call us today at 925-283-1863. Again, our number is 925-283-1863.